Good morning all, and very nice to see you all on this Monday morning. So here we are sitting on the mat and we're going to begin. We're doing a practice today to really lift up energy into the heart and to open up into shoulders, chest, any tightness through the neck. Those of you who've been out in the garden will enjoy this practice because it is a nice practice to stretch outwards and really expand into the chest. So let us begin. So take a comfortable seat and hands can rest on the lap or they can rest on the knees, however you feel comfortable. And a moment to arrive. And in arriving, allow your eyes to shut. And with your eyes shut, very gently elongate your spine. Great length through your body. And creating this length, you're creating space. Space for all your internal organs. Space for your breath. And space for your energy to flow. Feeling this space within you, within the architecture of the body. Something that's boundless. Something that rises in all directions. Not just where the eyes may travel. What you notice or see of the body. But a space that opens up within you in all directions. Space that opens up within the mind in all directions. It isn't bound by thought. Or by the sensation of the body. And our perception of its limitations. Space that is beyond words. And into this space, bringing intention. Intention of self-care towards yourself. Intention to be present, to appreciate what your body has to offer, what life has to offer, and opening up space to receive this. Bringing attention to your breath, and we'll take a few full rounds of breath, breathing into all the cavities of the body, and gently opening up space with our breath. opening in all directions. Now allow your eyes to open again in the next few moments. And take in a comfortable seat, however you choose to. So you might just carry on cross-legged. You might want to bring legs out in front of you. You might want to swivel the legs behind you and come into kneeling. Whatever feels right for you now. And we're going to start coming into a twist. So left hand will come over to the right side of the body. And your right hand will come behind you. You can just shrug your shoulders out, and you can also move your head a little bit on the axis of the spine. So creating a freedom within the body to be able to move. And then you can arrive in a twist over to the right. Just making sure this doesn't become static though as you arrive. We're still letting your body breathe within it, move within it. Seeing where the edge of the body is, where the body feels at ease, moving, and where there may be a little resistance. Gently, just freeing up the body with a little bit of light movement in this twist. The next out breath, we're going to take through the mouth. Just letting go of anything tired, anything stuck. And inviting in the new. So right hand now is coming over to the left side of the body, and your left hand will come behind you. And you're just easing, shrugging the shoulders around, the neck around, to arrive in this twist over to the left hand side. And easing into the shape of the body, into the shape you're creating. Rather than feeling that you've got to arrive in any shape or form into an end point, that there's an end destination. And as before, on the other side, we'll take a couple of breaths now, out through the mouth. And then you're arriving back and into your center line. So if your legs are still crossed or kneeling, we'll all stretch them out. So we're all meeting together with legs stretched out. And we're taking the hands behind us. Now your fingers can point back towards the body, or else if that feels uncomfortable, too much strain on the wrists, fingers are pointing away from you. Now in breath, lift up and into the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let the neck hang back if that's comfortable, or you can just keep it level if that feels easier. Really puff up the chest. Breathe into the back of the body. Anchor your legs down to the floor. Start to point your toes away from you, even as you keep lifting, squeezing, breathing fully up into the trunk. And then releasing out, peeling your spine forward. The palms will lift up a little bit as you ease your spine forward. And once you find an edge, a place where the spine no longer moves as freely forward, then start to bring your toes up towards the ceiling. And you're looking to flex the toes. You're looking at the backs of the toes, pointing back towards you. Now, shoulders easing to the sides, Make sure your neck is free here. You can rotate the skull a little bit from side to side. And we'll reach forward with our arms now. Nice big circle through the arms towards the feet. And hands can arrive wherever they want to, up the legs. And we've now dropped the head inwards, chin to the throat. And you've arrived into a forward fold for a couple of rounds of breath. And we're coming into the final round of breath here. And in breath, we'll take the arms up and around us, a big circle through the arms, reaching them skywards. And out breath, palms turning down and drawing the hands back down, elbows out to the sides and back down and into the belly. Now from here, we're going to bring the knees around and tucking under your toes. You're coming back to sit towards your heels. Now we all know this is a little bit strong on the arches of the feet, so do use your hands if you need to. If that feels too strong, just bending the knees, sitting back on the heels, and you can put cushions in between the calves and the thighs. That feels easier. So take whatever version you'd like to. Left arm's going to float out towards the right hand side, the thumbs facing up. Taking your right arm, squeeze that left arm into your body and slide your right hand down the outer edge towards the left hand. Looking forward here, still feeling that squeeze along the top of the left arm. And dropping the left hand down to the side of the body. Now we come onto all fours now, into tabletop. Take your knees a little bit further apart, your hands quite wide, so out towards more or less the edges of the mat. And start to now take your pelvis out to the side and into a figure of 8 from side to side. Now we're going to keep a little bit of lift up into the chest as we do this figure of 8. So rather than curving the spine, a little bit of tilt through your sit bones, a little bit of lift up through the chest as you swing your pelvis from side to side. Once you find a rhythm, allowing your neck to open, let your head move from side to side, follow that figure of 8. And lifting up the right arm, we're going to take it underneath the left, into threading the needle, down onto the right temple and stretching out the left arm out in front of you. And arriving with your next round of breath, back up and onto all fours. So fingers again wide, feet wide, and coming back into another round of figure of 18, involving head, involving shoulders, involving the neck, tracing this pattern. And when you've done a few rounds, coming into the threading the needle on the other side. So left arm now underneath right, stretch it out, palm facing up. And once you're there, arrived on the left temple, reaching out with your right arm. So you've got that lovely full body stretch all the way along the outer edge of the right side of the body. Breathing into the back of the spine. Breathing into the small of the back. One more round. And then finding your way back up onto all fours. Toes tucking under again. And with toes tucking under, you're coming back to the heels. So do take any other version that you want to here. Just kneeling. And this time, we're going to stretch the right arm out towards the left. And once you're there, with your left hand, you're pressing down along the outer edge of the right arm, sliding that left hand out towards the right hand, almost like you're pulling the right arm over to the left. Last round of breath. And dropping the hands down, releasing the toes, and planting your feet back down to come onto all fours and lifting up onto your knees. Lovely. Now, hands are coming to the shoulders now, and reaching up with your hands, stretch them out skywards, almost like you're reaching behind your head bow here. So rather than reaching in front, it's like you're drawing your hands behind the skull. Bring your skull to neutral, lift up. And we're interlace the fingers now above the head. So interlacing the fingers, draw a little circle through your arms around the top of your skull. See if you can keep your skull, the head, as stable as you can. So you're rotating the shoulders, the shoulder girdle, to create this circle. When you've done a few rounds in one direction, you're going to take that circle back the other way. And on to your next round. Again, we're going to take fingers down and to the shoulders. Now your elbows coming out to the sides here. Draw your elbows back towards one another behind you. Feel the chest opening, relax the shoulders down. In breath, reaching up with the hands again. Stretch up underneath the armpits, along both sides of the waist. And out breath, hands will come down and to the small of the back. So you're settling the palms either sides of your spine behind you. Squeeze into the chest, breathe in, tilt the chin up, the chest up, lean back into a gentle back bend here. Breathe into the back of the body. And we're now going to start folding forward, curving the spine, chin to throat, and letting the head drop until you feel that nice stretch along the back of the neck. Still keep your hands on the small of the back. Start to reach up again with the chin, elbows drawing behind you. Look up, squeeze shoulder blades together, and let your breath travel into the space behind you. And coming the opposite way now. Relax the shoulders down as the chin comes to the throat. Maybe surprised how much you can actually let go of the shoulders here. Relax them. So let your neck grow. And sliding your hands down now from the small of the back. Reaching them forwards down to the mat, keeping them quite wide. Feet quite wide as well. And lifting up your knees and easing yourself back and into a down dog. Holding that little bend through the knees will allow your spine to stretch and reach. If you find there's a little bit of pressure in the heel of the hand, see if you can slide some of that weight forwards into your fingertips. Almost like you're clasping the floor with your fingertips, then lift up into your sit bones. Feeling your breath travel through the body in the stillness of down dog. And from here, we're going to start to walk the feet forward up towards the hands, taking little baby steps until you arrive up at the top of the mat. Now do put a little bit of bend in your knees if your hamstrings still tight. And we'll just let the spine hang here in forward fold. Allowing the entire back of the body to decompress in the forward fold. Starting to roll your spine up and into standing. And you're arriving into Tadasana. Feet together on your mat. So a few breaths arriving into Tadasana. Take your time to find balance through the body. And to find equilibrium within your stance. We're going to lift now the right shoulder up and set it back in the shoulder girdle. Doing the same on the left side, lifting left shoulder up and setting it back so the chest is really fully open, palms facing forward. Pull the belly in very lightly as you breathe. Just feel those little ebbs and flow of balance through the body. Open up through the back of the neck. One more breath. And when you're ready to move now, with your in-breath, we'll take a big circle up through the arms. Reaching both arms up together, drawing the elbows back a little bit, so you really are lifting up and into the skull of the body. Reach up with your fingertips. And then catching hold of your right wrist with your left arm. Start to ease that right hand over towards the left hand side. letting the whole body sway in this lovely arch. Arriving back to your center line, release the arms, open them up again, stretch up again into the fingertips, lift up into the skull, into the chest. And reaching up the next breath into fingertips a little bit more. Then we catch hold of the left wrist with the right hand, and we're taking the left arm over towards the right. Over a few rounds of breath, see if there's any opening to expand into the shape of the body. Next round. And arriving back to the center line, arms opening again. Nice big V shape now. And we'll turn up towards the top of the mat. Drawing up, reaching up, breathing into the back of the spine, chin to sky. One more in-breath. And out-breath, palms coming together, palms down, and scanning down the front of the body, start to take your spine down and into forward fold. And arriving in Uttanasana, a little bit of movement through your skull. Taking the skull into a figure of 8 from side to side. We're off the spine forward now. Breathing in, the hands can slide up the knees. We'll take elbows to the side. We'll lift up into the belly. We're looking forward with a soft gaze. From there, you may want to slide your hands down towards the mat, so you're up on your fingertips, whilst keeping the hands on the legs. One more in-breath. And planting your hands down and stepping back, feet towards the edges of the mat and into down dog. Now start to bring your knees down, working them together, taking your time to really drop them down. Taking your feet in a bit, and out breath, easing your pelvis back. So you're coming into child, arms stretching out in front of you. Use your fingers like a lever here to draw the pelvis back towards your heels. Let the forehead drop down. Breathing your way through any sensation, whatever sensation is arising through the body. The next round of breath, lifting your fingertips and then planting them down very softly, quietly on the mat. And feeling the weight, rooting, easing into your fingertips, we'll start to draw the spine forward, traveling close to the floor and arriving on the belly, hands underneath the shoulders. Anchor the fronts of the feet down to the mat. And in-breath, lifting into a cobra, gazing up towards ceiling. Out-breath, the spine releasing back down to the mat. Going to do a few more rounds here. Another in-breath. Breathing your way into cobra. Out-breath, releasing back down. One more. Your next in-breath, looking up into Cobra, and out-breath, finding your way back and into Down Dog. Now adjust your feet to a comfortable stance in your Down Dog. Breathe in, a deep out-breath through the mouth. And in-breath, right leg lifting up behind you. Stretch it skywards, really ease up, straighten up that right knee, look forward. And right knee will bend, and you'll join that right knee up towards your core as the shoulders come forward, so the shoulders are stacked above your wrists. Reach up again with your right foot. This time we're going to swing the right foot through, so you may want to stand up here and adjust the feet to do that. And right foot will come through and up towards your hands. And we're then going to flip the back foot down, anchoring your back foot. Start to lift up, pelvis facing forward, and we'll take the fingertips up towards the shoulders, elbows out to the sides. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling as you lunge forward into your front knee. In breath, reach up your hands. Lift up into your fingertips. Soften the gaze towards ceiling. And breathing into the front of the body as much as into the back of the body. And hands coming down to the heart, straightening up your front knee. So now you really are in balance. If you find that, it is a bit wobbly, make sure your feet are a little bit wider apart from one another. So your right foot's a bit closer to the right edge of the mat, and your left foot's a bit closer to the left edge of the mat. So you're standing on a train track rather than a tightrope, as it were. Hands at the heart. We're going to take the hands out in front of us, and then you're opening up the arms out to either sides of the body. Once you're there, going to reach back and either catch hold of your elbow points, squeezing them together, or you may want to take the hands into downward prayer, or even rotating the wrists up and into upward prayer. So take your pick of stance for the arms. Either elbow, hand to elbow, downward prayer, upward prayer. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Breathe in, look up. And out breath. Take your time to start to fold forward. Anchor your back foot as you do. Now breathing in, once you've folded to a comfortable place, stretch out through your spine, lengthen out through the spine. Soft gaze, and then out breath. Follow the out breath into a little bit of a deeper forward fold. Keep anchoring your back foot, breathing into the back of the body, feeling your breath lifting into the front of the body. And we release the arms down, either sides of the front foot, and we're going to step back and into down dog. Just your feet, take them quite wide again in your down dog, ease the pelvis back. And in breath, both knees working together, your drop knees down. And coming back into child again. Keep rooting down into your fingertips, drawing your pelvis back. You may have to slide the hands back in a little bit.
Then looking forward and starting to slide the front of the body through onto the belly. In breath into cobra, out breath back to the floor. Another in breath, widen your cobra. Out breath, right back to the mat. This time we'll travel on through from cobra into down dog. Taking your time to arrive there. And again, we're all meeting down dog. So left leg starting to float up behind you. Stretch it skywards, reach up. Then as you bend your left knee, you're taking it into your core, and the shoulders will travel forward, so they're over the wrists. We'll just take a breath here. And then slowly straightening out through the left leg again. And this time, the left foot will travel through between hands. So you may want to stand up to adjust it to get there. And we'll all meet left foot forward and right foot flipping down, anchoring that right heel. So the gaze comes forward, slowly lifting up, lunging into the front knee, and fingertips coming up to the shoulders. Now your back foot, the heel of the back foot is your anchor here to stabilize the balance. Take your gaze up, chin up, feel the breath in the back of the body. And then in breath, reaching the hands skywards. Keep breathing into the back of the spine, breathing down that back leg. Filling up the container of the body with the breath. And with the next round of breath, we'll straighten up the front leg. As we straighten up, bring the hands back down and let them arrive at the sides of the body. Draw your hands now up to the heart. And from the heart, we'll reach the palms forward. Keep anchoring the back foot as you open the hands out either sides of the body. Squeeze shoulder blades together. And then taking your hands around behind you, catching hold of elbows. Do catch from the opposite way if you are doing the elbow grip. So the way that feels less familiar here. Else into downward prayer. Else rotating the palms up. And we're arriving into upward prayer. Breathe in, look up, lift up. And out breath, a slow folding forward, letting the spine travel through space until we find a place where it's just resting. And there we lengthen, in breath, looking forward, reaching forward through the spine. Soft gaze, and then use your out breath. See if you can fold a little bit further. Next round of breath. And the arms will release back down either sides of your front foot. And we're now going to bring hands over to the big toe edge of the left foot and walk them around into the middle of the mat, rotating your left foot as you do so. Come up onto your fingertips here, breathe in, look forward, anchor the outer edges of your feet to the mat, so you can almost lift up the big toes because you're glued down on the outer edge. Coming into a forward fold here. And then walking your hands a little bit further forward. So we're going to keep the left foot where it is, and we're going to bring the right knee down to the mat. And then we're going to stretch the left foot out a little bit further. So it's out to the side of the body. We're up on the right knee. Left hand reaches out. Right arm is scooping underneath that left arm, reaching out towards the left foot, and you're coming down into threading the needle on the right temple, hips high, left leg out to the side of the body. We'll take a few rounds of breath there. Walking your hands back in, arriving onto all fours, left leg still out to the side, and we're drawing that left knee, and then we're coming onto the other side. Take your right leg out to the side of the body, you're up on the left knee here, and sliding the right hand slightly out in front of you, then scooping underneath with the left arm, and down onto the left temple, and left hand's reaching towards your right foot, and you're stretching out through the right arm. Next round of breath or so, and you're riding back and onto all fours. Left foot, right leg coming in. Now your hips are still high. So from here, we're going to slide the hands out in front of you, and your forehead will come down to the floor. And you're drawing your pelvis high, so not back towards the heels, but up, as your arms stretch out in front of you. Feel your breath in front of the body and behind the body. And we'll slowly slide the hands back in, and you're going to arrive into kneeling. So right arm's reaching around now to the left side of the head. Now allow this left shoulder to shrug out, to drop down as you take the skull over towards the right. And you can do this a couple of times. You're almost stroking fingertips through the side, through the hair at the side of the head.
make sure your left shoulder isn't lifting up, it's not rising up. As you do this, see if you can still find space underneath your armpits. Giving yourself space for the body to open. And skull coming back to the center line. And right hand coming down to the mat. And with the left arm, reaching up over to the right side of the skull and your easy mat over towards the left. Again, make sure that right shoulder doesn't want to lift up too much. Encouraging it to drop down in its socket. And you're arriving back unto your center line. Chin to throat now. Moving slowly so you really feel all those little micro muscles around the neck. Letting go of the weight of the skull. And we're now going to rotate the chin very slowly towards the right shoulder. And then you're going to take a semicircle across the chest, over to the left. Over the top. Towards the right. And then over the top. Towards the left. Arriving at left. And the semicircle across the chest. Towards the right. And arriving back to the center of the body. So your hands are now going to reach towards the back of the neck, and you're looking to bring fingers just at the base of the occiput, and just massaging into the base of the occiput with the fingertips. And as you just feel your way down from the base of the occiput towards the skull, you'll notice there's one little nodule, C7 or so, along the spine. Little nodule along the spine. And so we're just going to massage around there. Either sides of it, around it. When you've done that, we'll take fingertips over the top of the skull, really just rake in the fingertips into the skull. Thumbs just around the back of the occiput, one more time, elbows out to the side, little circles along the ridge, out towards your ears. And then we'll shake that out of the fingertips, shake out the arms, shake up the jaw. And bringing hands to the heart. letting the body become still and feeling the breath flowing freely through your body. Notice what you, instinctively perceive about your breath, where your attention travels. Then opening up your awareness to see what else there is to notice within your breath. What else do you feel as the body breathes? And from here, we'll take the hands down to the sides of the body. We'll bring the legs around out in front of us. And knees bending into the chest, rolling down onto the spine. We'll just rock a little from side to side. Right hand over to the left knee, left arm out to the side. Take the knees over to the right hand side into a gentle twist. And then take your knees back to the center line. Again, rock them a little bit from side to side. And your left hand will come over to the right knee, your right arm's out to the side, and you'll guide the knees over towards the left side of the body. And arriving back to your center line. And dropping the feet down. Then opening the arms out to the sides of the body and shrug each shoulder down to the mat. Really anchor, glue the shoulder blades down, palms facing up. Then we can stretch out each leg and turn. And if you take your toes towards one another, you can even touch the toes. And then you can open them out, away from each other to either side. Follow the line of the spine up through the body to neck to skull. And with your next out breath, letting go of the weight of the body. Feeling its stillness. Feeling the space inside you, around you.
We'll stretch out the arms now, out behind the head. And breathing in, taking a full body stretch. And out breath, letting everything relax through the body. Bending your knees. And bringing arms down to the right hand side and your knees down to the right hand side. We'll take a few resting breaths here. Then you're finding your way up and into sitting again. And taking a comfortable seat, hands resting on the lap or on the knees, allowing eyes to shut. With eyes shut, feel the lift of your body. Almost like you're resting the spine and the air behind you. Almost as if you're resting your skull and the air behind you. Note how as you do that, how you feel the support, the space around you, how it changes perception. And hands coming to heart, and at the heart, head bowing down, finding presence in the heart. And closing your practice when you're ready. Thank you.